Think about the last time you had money in your bank account and felt genuinely anxious about spending it, even on something you needed. Or maybe you're the opposite. Maybe you can't keep money in your account because the second it shows up, you feel this overwhelming urge to spend it before something bad happens. Here's what's wild. That reaction, it probably has nothing to do with your actual financial situation. It's an echo of your parents' relationship with money, playing on repeat in your brain like a song you can't get out of your head. Except this song is costing you somewhere between $2,000 and $15,000 every single year. You inherited your eye color from your parents. You inherited your height. And whether you realize it or not, you inherited an entire operating system for how to think about, feel about, and handle money. And for a lot of people, that operating system is absolutely sabotaging their financial future. My name is Brenda, and I spend way too much time thinking about how the money scripts your parents taught you, usually without saying a single word, are quietly destroying your wealth building potential. If you're someone who makes decent money but can't seem to save it, or you logically know what you should do with money but emotionally can't bring yourself to do it, or you keep repeating the same financial patterns even though they're not working, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Because what I'm about to explain isn't your typical budget advice or investment strategy. This is about the invisible psychological programming that determines whether you'll build wealth or stay stuck, regardless of how much money you make. Let me start with something that's going to sound kind of out there, but stick with me. You have what psychologists call money scripts. These are unconscious beliefs about money that you absorbed before you were even old enough to understand what money was. Did your parents fight about money? You probably internalized that money causes conflict and stress. Do you now avoid talking about money with your partner even when you desperately need to? That's the script running. Did your parents constantly worry about not having enough, even when objectively they were fine? You probably internalized that money is scarce and you need to hold on to it desperately. Do you now feel anxiety about spending money even on necessary things? That's the script. Did your parents spend money freely, living paycheck to paycheck, but always managing to make it work? You probably internalized that money flows in and out, and everything always works out. Do you now struggle to save because money feels temporary? That's the script. Here's what makes this so insidious. These aren't conscious choices you're making. They're automatic responses that feel completely normal to you because they've been operating since you were like 5 years old. Let me show you what this looks like in real dollars, because this isn't just interesting psychology. This is costing you serious money. Research from Kansas State University identified 4 primary money scripts that people inherit. Let me walk through each one and show you the actual financial damage they cause. Script 1, money avoidance. This is the belief that money is bad, that wealthy people are greedy, that wanting money is shallow. If you inherited this script, you probably unconsciously sabotage opportunities to earn more or build wealth because doing so conflicts with your identity. Let's say you have an opportunity to negotiate a $5,000 raise, but you don't because it feels greedy or uncomfortable. That's $5,000 this year, but it's also the baseline for every future raise. Over a 30-year career, that one avoided negotiation cost you approximately $312,000 in lost earnings and lost investment growth. $300,000 because somewhere deep down you believe that caring about money makes you a bad person. Script 2, money worship. This is the belief that money solves all problems, that having more money would make everything better. If you inherited this script, you probably work constantly trying to earn more, but you never feel like you have enough. People with this script often earn high incomes but can't save because they're always chasing the next income level that will finally make them feel secure. Let's say you make $85,000, but you're convinced you need to make $120,000 to feel comfortable, so you work side hustles and burn yourself out, earning an extra $15,000 per year, but spending $18,000 on convenience and stress relief. You're actually going backwards by $3,000 annually. Over 20 years, that's $60,000 in lost wealth. Script 3, money status. This is the belief that your net worth equals your self-worth, that money determines your value as a person. If you inherited this script, you probably spend money to signal success even when you can't afford it. Let's say you buy a $45,000 car when a $25,000 car would work fine because you need to look successful. Between the extra loan payment, insurance, and maintenance, that's about $400 more per month. Over the 6-year loan, that's $28,800. If you'd invested that difference at 8% return, after 20 years, you'd have $237,000. That's the cost of needing your car to validate your worth. Script 4, money vigilance. This is the belief that you must be constantly watchful and anxious about money, that disaster is always one mistake away. If you inherited this script, you probably save obsessively but never feel secure enough to use money to improve your life. People with this script might have $100,000 saved but won't spend $2,000 on a certification that could boost their income by $10,000 per year. They won't invest because it feels risky. They keep money in savings accounts earning 0.5% instead of investing and earning 8%. On $100,000, that's a $7,500 annual opportunity cost. Over 20 years, that's $340,000 in lost investment growth. Here's where this gets really interesting. You didn't choose these scripts. You absorbed them by watching your parents. And the crazy part is, your parents didn't choose them either. They absorbed them from their parents. This is generational programming. Your great-grandparents who lived through the Great Depression taught your grandparents to hoard money and never spend it. Your grandparents taught your parents that scarcity is always just around the corner. Your parents taught you to feel anxiety about money even though you've never experienced real scarcity. Or maybe it went the opposite direction. Your grandparents deprived themselves so much that your parents rebelled and spent freely. Now you inherited that script and can't save because spending feels like freedom and saving feels like deprivation. I know someone, let's call him Marcus, who makes $95,000 a year and has $1,200 in his savings account. Objectively, he should be building wealth, but he can't save money because every time he accumulates a few $1,000s, he finds a reason to spend it. When we dug into his history, it turned out his parents grew up poor, built some wealth, then lost it all in a bad investment. The lesson Marcus internalized? Money is temporary and will probably disappear anyway, so you might as well enjoy it while you have it. That unconscious belief is costing him about $800 a month in savings he could be building. Over 25 years at 8% return, that's $760,000. $750,000 gone because of a belief system he inherited from his parents' traumatic experience with money. Now, here's something most people don't realize. Sometimes the damaging money script isn't the one your parents taught you directly. It's the one you created in reaction to your parents. If you grew up watching your parents struggle with money, you might have told yourself, I'm never going to be like them. So you became obsessed with earning and saving. That sounds good, right? Except now you can't enjoy anything. You've damaged relationships by being cheap, and you've turned money into your entire identity. Or maybe your parents were really frugal and you hated feeling deprived, so you reacted by spending freely as an adult. Now you're in debt and can't figure out why you can't stop spending even though you know it's hurting you. Both of these are inherited money scripts. One is imitating your parents, the other is rebelling against them, but both are unconscious reactions instead of conscious choices. Here's what most people don't realize about these money scripts. They're not operating at a conscious level. You don't wake up thinking, today I'm going to sabotage my finances because of my childhood. You just
do things, and those things feel normal. This is why traditional financial advice often fails. Some expert tells you to save 20% of your income, but if you inherited a scarcity script, saving feels terrifying. Or they tell you to invest in stocks, but if you inherited an anxiety script, investing feels reckless. You're fighting against decades of unconscious programming with conscious willpower, and willpower always loses eventually. According to research from the Financial Therapy Association, about 85% of financial behaviors are driven by these unconscious money scripts, not by logical decision making. 85%. That means the vast majority of your financial outcomes are determined by beliefs you didn't choose and probably don't even know you have. Now, I know what you're thinking. Brenda, this sounds like therapy talk. Are you telling me I need to psychoanalyze my childhood before I can save money? That's ridiculous. And look, I get it. This isn't the clean, simple advice of just spend less than you earn. But here's the thing. If you could just spend less than you earn, you would have already done it. The fact that you haven't, despite knowing you should, tells you that something deeper is going on. You don't need years of therapy, but you do need awareness. Once you can see the script running, once you can recognize, oh, that's my dad's voice telling me investing is gambling, or that's my mom's anxiety making me hoard cash instead of building wealth, you can start to override it. It's like debugging code. You can't fix a bug you can't see, but once you identify it, you can write new code. So how do you actually change these inherited money scripts? Let me give you the process that actually works. First, you need to identify what scripts you're running. Ask yourself, what did my parents teach me about money, both explicitly and implicitly? What did I learn about money by watching them? What are my automatic reactions to money situations? If money makes you anxious, that's a clue. If spending feels like rebellion, that's a clue. If saving feels impossible, that's a clue. These emotional reactions are pointing you toward the script. Second, you need to challenge whether that script is actually true or useful. Just because your parents believe something doesn't make it true. Your dad might have believed the stock market is rigged, but the data shows that index fund investors who stay invested for 20 plus years have historically made money. Your mom might have believed you can't be happy without money, but research shows happiness plateaus around $75,000 in income. Third, you need to consciously choose a new script and practice it until it becomes automatic. This is the hard part because you're fighting against years of conditioning. Let me give you a concrete example. Let's say you inherited the script, investing is too risky, cash is safe. Every time you think about investing, you feel anxiety. That's the script activating. The new script might be cash loses value to inflation. Broad market investing has historically grown wealth over time. When the anxiety comes up, you acknowledge it. That's my old script running. Then you consciously choose the new script. You invest a small amount. You prove to yourself that the world doesn't end. You slowly reprogram the response. All right, let's get practical. Here's exactly what you do. Step 1. Write down your parents' money behaviors. How did they talk about money? Did they fight about it? Did they avoid it? Did they spend freely or hoard cash? Just observe without judgment. Step 2. Identify your automatic money reactions. When you get paid, what's your first instinct? When you see money in your account, how do you feel? When you think about investing, what emotion comes up? These reactions are your money scripts in action. Step 3. Calculate the cost of your specific script. If you avoid asking for raises, calculate the lifetime cost. If you overspend to prove success, add up what that's costing annually. Make it concrete. You need to see the actual price tag of maintaining these inherited beliefs. Step 4. Write a new script. Literally write it down. I am worthy of earning good money and I advocate for myself. Or my worth isn't determined by my possessions. Or investing is how I build long-term security. Whatever contradicts your inherited script. Step 5. Practice the new script with small actions. Don't try to completely rewire overnight. If your script is money is scarce, practice spending $20 on something you enjoy without guilt. If your script is money defines me, practice driving past the expensive coffee place. Small reps build new neural pathways. Look, here's the uncomfortable truth about money. Most of your financial outcomes were determined before you even understood what money was. You inherited an entire belief system from people who inherited it from people who inherited it from people going back generations. And that's not your fault. You didn't choose these beliefs. But here's what is your responsibility now that you're aware of them: choosing whether to keep them or change them. Your parents did the best they could with the beliefs they had, but their beliefs were shaped by their circumstances, their parents, their experiences. Those might not be relevant to your life. Their scarcity might not be your scarcity. Their anxiety might not be your reality. The math is brutal. Depending on which money script you inherited, you could be leaving anywhere from $100,000 to $500,000 on the table over your lifetime. That's not a small number. That's the difference between financial stress and financial freedom. But here's the good news. Unlike your height or your eye color, money scripts can be changed. It takes awareness, it takes practice, and yeah, it takes some uncomfortable self-examination, but it's possible. So here's your challenge. Spend the next week just observing your money reactions without judgment. Notice when you feel anxiety, guilt, fear, or compulsion around money. Ask yourself, is this my voice or is this something I inherited? That awareness is the first step to rewriting the script. If this video made you realize you've been running someone else's money programming, smash that like button and subscribe, because we're going to keep exposing the hidden psychological traps that keep people stuck. Now go figure out which money script you inherited and decide if you want to keep it or write a new one. Your financial future depends on it.